I'm Jay Cooper, and this is my story. I was a hyper kid, really. I was not. My parents probably hated me because of how hyper I was, but I always loved to be out and just go adventuring. I like to play baseball, basketball, football, anything I could get my hands on, and I'd always be out in the yard, just hitting or something, hitting, throwing the football with Landon, playing kickball with Harley, just anything I could do. My friends growing up, we were all pretty much alike. We all like to be active. We all like to do stuff. And if my main two friends were Thomas Franklin and Drew Till, it was us three. We would always just stick with each other. Wherever we went, we would always be together. And we would ball boy for the varsity team. And then my cousin, Davis Bull, we have been friends since I could remember. I have pictures of us when we were just itty bitty. He's been my accountability partner pretty much. He keeps me in check. He makes sure I don't do things that are stupid, and I keep him in check too, so that's good for both of us. One time I was outside and we all felt like climbing an oak tree. Well, we started climbing this oak tree and I got about 15 feet up in the air when I realized that was probably not a good idea to be 15 feet up in the air. I stepped on a dead branch and just plummeted to the ground. And so I passed out or blacked out, and I woke up on their couch with an ice pack on my head. And I got to the car, I was just blood everywhere, and I was in Children's Hospital for about 2 weeks. And that was the first near to death experience I had, and that's when I came to the realization that I probably needed to get my life straight. I've always been involved in church since I was just a little kid, and my parents put me in church when I was just itty bitty, and growing up I'd make friends in church, and the thing I would always look forward to was VBS. And VBS, we had a blast then, and that's when I would really get to make a lot of friends because of everybody would just come to VBS. And church life growing up was pretty awesome, if I'm being honest. It was just incredible. I had no worries, and it was just, I was here for Jesus. And family has been one of the main importance of my life. I always say to put family or God first and family second. There's no doubt about it that family always comes second, and that has always been huge to our family. And if our family's going through something, you're there for them. You give up whatever you're doing and you go there for them. And I can say that my parents have definitely trained us in that aspect for the better. Because if Landon or Harley's going through something, I'm gonna go talk to them, and I'm gonna try to make it better for them. Or if one of us is hurting, all of us are gonna hurt. Or if one of us is happy, all of us are gonna be happy, because we care for each other and we want what's best for each other. When I was younger, and my grandfather had died. I think it was June 30th when he passed. And on July 4th, a week later, my brother died. And so that messed with my head, and I was like, why? Why me? Why our family? Why God? And I just started questioning it, and I don't know, that one, it hit me different, and I didn't know what to believe at that point. What's the point if all of this is just gonna happen to us and all these bad things are gonna happen? And I realized after thinking about it and praying and reading about it that it happens for a reason. It happens to make us grow and turn me into a better person through it. And since that day, one of my major role models has been my older brother, because though he is past and gone, just knowing all of the things that happened has led me to believe that it happened for a reason, and it happened to change me to become a better person, and that our lives could end at any moment. About the time I was about 11 or 12, I was in sixth grade, and that's when I started to get it and started to realize, okay, it all started to make sense to me. Well, it's actually a funny story how I started becoming close with Christ. I was sitting on the toilet at my house, and I screamed to my mom across the house, and I was like, "Mom, how do you accept Christ?" And she was like, "What?" And I was just like, "How do you do it?" And so she took me through the steps, and I sat there on my toilet and just prayed and went through all the steps and accepted Christ right then and there. And at that point, I was still in 6th grade, so I wasn't completely sure what I was doing and completely like all there. And after that, I started becoming close with the youth group, and I was probably about 14, and I was in youth group, and I started to realize things, and I started to realize you can't just say a prayer, and God didn't tell us just to say a prayer and you'll be in. You gotta dedicate your life fully to Christ and give up yourself for Him and give up everything for Him. And that's when I started realizing this is for real, and you can't sugarcoat it. Some of the things I used to do, not necessarily bad things, but just the way I would approach things and talk to people, and I had to change the way of living pretty much. I didn't do bad things, but just the way I would think about things though. I would think about things wrongly and go about things in a bad way. And ever since I've really understood Christ, my head has just been cleared. And I've always lived by the saying, treat people how you want to be treated. And so my main thing is I just want to make people happy, and that's what I feel like that's what I'm here for. And I feel like I'm, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I feel like I can make people happy, and I like to see smiles on people's faces, and if someone needs a hug, I'm always there for them, and I'm always there to give them a hug. And yeah, I just changed the way I was living in that aspect. I'm always there for someone. Ever since COVID hit, it started to drift me away from God, because I wasn't able to get involved in church anymore. I wasn't able to go to church and do all these things. And then online school would just pile me up with all this stuff. And I know that's not an excuse, but I just started drifting away from God. And after it continued back, or after church started back and all these things, I started going back to church and getting involved with the youth group, and getting involved with the little VBS we had, and all these things have just led me to be stronger. And I think God is really doing something big for me right now, because all these things I've just been feeling different than I have in the past, and I feel like I am at my strongest point with Christ right now that I have been since I walk with Him. And I feel like He's fixing to lead me. I feel like He's leading me in the right, well, obviously He's leading me in the right direction, but I feel like it's going to be good, and whatever He's doing it's going to be great. I can't say where God is leading me, because I don't know. I don't know what He has in store for me. I don't know what is going to happen, but I know it's going to be good. I'm Jay Cooper, and this is my story.